Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, dear viewers, to another episode of She in Islam. Ramadan Kareem to all of you. And tonight I have a special guest, my friend Maksuda Parkar. Assalamu alaikum, Maksuda.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for your time to be on the show, mashallah. I know you're busy, mashallah.
Yes, everything is keeping busy. The association, the non-profit organization that we run along with my husband.
I'm sure that keeps you very busy,
yes,
mashallah.
Definitely.
And your job in
and
HR.
My work, yes.
Yeah, you work in HR in an architectural firm. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm doing that.
So that's a full-time job, mashallah.
It is from 8 to 5. That keeps me busy. And then I jointly run an non-profit organization with my husband. It's called Empowering Ummah and Humanity. It's mainly focusing on empowerment of women and bringing awareness to them about their rights and roles and responsibilities in the society in Islam.
MashaAllah, and that's exactly what our program is about.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
MashaAllah, so we're like a reflection of your organization, MashaAllah.
Yes.
Because I want to bring close to the viewers that women have important roles in the community. Of course, we have rights. We also have responsibilities. We have responsibilities to give back to the community if we're able to. Whatever skills, knowledge we have, to return it into the community.
Definitely.
So that people can benefit from whatever we know, wherever that skill lies.
Definitely.
SubhanAllah. And as mothers, of course, they give back by raising the children.
Exactly.
And then sometimes when the children are grown, the women go back into the professional field.
A woman becomes an institution, basically, to upbring the kids, to upbring the generations, not just one, but many generations.
Exactly. And then oftentimes after, so many of my guests on the show have said, once the children are in kindergarten and they go to elementary school, that's when we want to go back into the community and start working outside of the home, whether it's volunteer work or professionally, mashallah.
Yes, definitely.
And tonight you have a very interesting topic, which I think is important to be addressed, because so many young women, and not just young women, all women, we're suffering from this phenomenon.
Yes, they are. If you see that, especially like what happened in France and where the girls were asked to remove the hijab and stuff like that.
Yes.
And what requires is, our women raise their opinion, because when our brothers, our husbands, our fathers, or even our sons, when they raise such topics saying that, a woman needs to cover her aura or she needs to be protected, they think that the society or the spectators think that, our women are being oppressed, or they are being, the dictatorship of men, our father or husbands.
And the men causing.
Exactly. But if a woman really raises her opinion that no, with hijab I feel protected, I am free, but yet I am protected, and this is I'm doing to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then I think these problems will start getting avoided.
Right.
Because right now what happens is when a man raises this topic, they think, okay, the man is oppressing the Muslim woman, but people don't know exactly.
He's self-serving.
Exactly.
Saying, yes, women should cover. Well, yeah, because I don't want anybody to see my wife or my daughter or my sister, but that's not the case.
Exactly. They think, okay, she's been imprisoned behind the doors, or maybe she's been oppressed, or the father is being ruling over her.
That's right.
So there are a lot of misconception about hijab, or it be about education, be about marriage, a lot of things. There are a lot of misconceptions.
Unfortunately, right.
Unfortunately,
and when men usually talk about those topics, like you said, people will say, yeah, it's easy for him to talk. It's easy for him to say he doesn't have to cover, and he doesn't have to be hot, and he doesn't have to be,
To be very honest, there is the first thing that came in Quran was the wail to men. Instead of women, it was wail to men, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, lower your gaze.
Right.
So men do have a wail, but obviously it is for them to lower their gaze, not to look at the woman who is passing around. Obviously for lady, because she is pretty and she has beauty, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells them to cover it up with, with a veil or with abaya, or with a hijab.
That's right.
And it doesn't stop you from doing what you're doing, your activities. I'm a working person.
You're the example.
And this is my attire at work. It's not that I'm wearing it today.
And you can still do HR, which puts you human resource. You are in contact with people.
Exactly. My job is basically, I love to interact with people from different culture, different religion, different, you can say from different countries. But at the same time, it doesn't stop me from talking to them.
So it's not a block for you to interact with people?
No, it's not. I mean, hijab is covering my hair, not my brains.
Exactly.
So I talk to them in a way everybody else talks. I have management where I, sometimes I have to deal with them, and I do go approach them and I talk to them as just as normal
And
person
you are
would
fully
do.
respected.
Alhamdulillah, there is no problem. Nobody points out anything,
Mashallah.
and I work just as normally as I can.
So the men at your work also completely respect this?
Alhamdulillah, all the men around, they respect, and they have these areas where the distance is kept. Everything
The
is
professionalism.
Professionalism is maintained
Right,
everywhere,
right.
in every aspect of my work.
Because subhanAllah, hijab, I feel, is not just your attire, but it's also your mannerisms.
Exactly.
When we wear hijab, it's also the way we conduct ourselves.
Yes,
Right, so
this
it's
is
a
something very
professional
important.
the professional conduct when we deal with the
Exactly.
brothers, with the men. There's a certain limit.
Exactly,
In a
yes.
certain way we carry ourselves.
Definitely, because see, what happens is today the modern society or the media is completely putting off what actually the hijab meaning is. Hijab it's basically being modest. Modesty means to do something which is pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you do something which is displeasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if you cover up modestly, doesn't make any sense. Especially like if you dress modestly, you need to do your best conduct, carry good manners with yourself.
Right, I think the conduct comes first.
Exactly.
The conduct, modest conduct, and then you follow that up with the modest dress.
Definitely, yes.
But there's no use really of modest dress.
Exactly, and you don't have to dress up to look beautiful. You don't have to beautify your voice. You don't have to beautify your attire just to attract people, because these are not part of Islam.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
our girls, our young age teenagers, they need to learn that hijab is, it's a modesty. It's a way you present yourself to the society.
Yeah, and I think that modesty is actually empowering.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's in my hands that I've decided
Yeah.
to be modest.
Exactly.
I have decided. Nobody's forcing me.
Definitely, and it is me who decides what the world sees.
Yes.
I
decide.
Exactly.
What
So
what they
it's
see.
me who makes the choices. The world doesn't make the choices for me.
Exactly.
If I want, I can, with my hijab, I can do many activities which a non-hijabi cannot do sometimes.
Yes.
I go to work every morning. I come back after work in the evening. Next day, I have my events which I have to take care of based on empowering Ummah. So I do a lot of things which are, I can move around freely. I don't have to be bothered about my looks, my beauty. Alhamdulillah,
Having to
Allah
go
has
run quickly to the hair salon
Exactly.
for half an hour to an hour
wasting
before
my
you're
time.
even.
I could do much
Right.
better things in that time,
Yes.
towards the society, contributing towards the community.
Exactly.
Alhamdulillah.
Well, we're going to go for a quick break, inshallah.
Sure.
We'll be right back.
Sure.
Assalamu alaikum. Dear viewers, please stay with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, dear viewers. And with me is Sister Maksuda Parkar. And we're talking about the really important issue of modesty, how it's getting lost with the times in all generations, really. But of course, the younger generation
Yes.
is more vulnerable because they can be affected so much more
Exactly.
easily than.
If you see with today's society, the fashion, it's getting bizarre. The clothes are getting shorter, tighter, and more revealing. And our
Right.
teenagers, our young girls are getting tempted with that. And Satan is playing a big role of making the girls get tempted with, making them push to get wear or imitate what the Westerners are wearing. However, Quran teaches us that, cover yourself, be modest, as it will be more pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we do that, and if you see, there are so many successful women around the globe who are wearing hijab, and yet they are doing many things. They are business women, they are business owners, they are working women, and they're
really no
politically
field.
active. Exactly, there is
No
every
field that they can have to stay away
Exactly, they are in all fields. They are all around. There are pilots who are wearing hijab and doing the flying the
from. We have
flights.
Olympic medalists now.
Exactly,
with
yes,
hijab,
definitely.
fencing and
Yes, definitely. So hijab is not stopping you from doing anything. And as I mentioned earlier, it's just covering my hair. I'm giving the society to see what I wish them to see, not
Right.
what they want to see.
Right.
So it just, it's my protection, it's my choice, it's my power.
Right, exactly. It's me deciding
Definitely.
who's going to see me, and I'm deciding, I'm actually forcing people to see me for me.
Exactly.
For the person I am, for the abilities I have, and for the character.
Yes.
And not to be, first having my physical appearance,
Exactly.
but to force my character.
And wearing hijab is not stopping me even to, get married or run my family. Everything is going smooth, alhamdulillah.
Exactly.
It just that it's my choice that I will wear hijab and I will wear abaya and I will work. Alhamdulillah, Kuwait has been a blessed country where I've been working for 14 years now, and it has not stopped me in any ways.
Exactly, mashallah. And so
Alhamdulillah.
I think a misconception also I would like to clear up for those people who don't have Muslim friends or are not involved in Muslim culture, that this is not something that we wear all day, 24/7. That there's time when we wear hijab and when we
Exactly.
are in the privacy of our homes
Exactly.
or among only
Only
ladies.
and our families, the
Our
mahram
families,
especially.
exactly. That this is not something, because some people might think, even me, I know from before I was
Exactly.
Muslim, that you think that this is what Muslims wear, Muslim women wear all day.
No, they don't. I mean, I don't. I mean, I wear this from 8 to 5 during my work hours. And if I have been out for my activities, yes, I do wear. But as soon as I am home, I'm in my comfort zone.
Exactly.
It's my husband who gets to see
You're
all
like
my
anybody
beauty.
else.
Alhamdulillah,
Exactly.
yes, definitely. Even we have our home gatherings and we have family gatherings.
Lady friends
Yes,
coming
we have a lot
over.
of lady
Yes.
parties, and we can say ladies get together, and we have a lot of one dish parties and stuff
Yes.
like that. So we do have we get to see our friends in the best clothing, in the best attire.
Exactly. So there's time for us
Exactly.
ladies to enjoy
Exactly.
fashions.
As long as you're not crossing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forbade you from showing to even the women.
Right. Yes.
So
of course, there's a certain
exactly,
limit of
there are
privacy. Yes.
my face can be seen, my hands can be seen. Even if it is a sister of mine, she can comb my hair, so that doesn't stop from anything.
Exactly.
And it
so
just
we
goes
can
normal.
apply those the things that we want to do in the fashion world. Sometimes we can use
Exactly.
the jewelry, the this, that. When we are with
Everything,
ladies and
exactly.
our friends.
You see a lot of weddings which where only women are part of that wedding group. You can
High-end
see them
fashions.
exactly. They are the most beautiful ladies I have ever seen, with with all the jewelry, with all the nice outfits. They carry of themselves very well.
Exactly.
That doesn't stop them.
Exactly. So subhanallah, that's always a misconception. that
Alhamdulillah,
people
yes,
think we
they have a
don't
lot of
live.
misconceptions.
That by wearing hijab, life stops.
Exactly, it doesn't stop. There are most common misconception is basically that women are oppressed. It's wrong. It's not right. Women are not allowed to have education. It's not right. How many women are educated? There are, as I said earlier, business women, professional
Yes.
women. They're educated. That's why they're
Exactly.
working and they're owning the business.
Exactly.
Without education, they wouldn't own a business.
I was just a few months ago. I was in Dubai and I was visiting Burj Khalifa, and they had this display of everybody who was involved in the construction and design and planning of Burj Khalifa. And in that big group photo that they had, there were a lot of women with hijab.
Yeah, I have seen
And I
those
was really
photos,
proud
exactly.
of them,
Yes,
particularly
mashallah.
them. I was like, good for you, mashallah. You are part of
Definitely.
such a humongous project.
Yes, other day I was just shuffling the channel and I came to an Indonesian channel, and they had this fashionista who was wearing a hijab, and she was doing a
Fashion
ramp
show
walk, a
and-
fashion show, showing how they can wear different type of hijabs and different type of long gowns and abaya and still walk around
Right.
and get their thing done.
So
And
like you said,
she's a fashion
every
field.
field,
Every field you have a woman with hijab, and she's working in a successful manner.
mashallah. So
doesn't stop.
how are the girls being affected nowadays though, and why? I mean, they see the examples here, the women with hijab, modesty, and they're still, getting so
I
affected.
think it's because there are a lot of other women from Westerner side or from different zone. I wouldn't only blame Western. It could be social media. It could be the fashion line where, as I said earlier, the clothes are getting shorter and tighter and revealing. So shaitan is tempting them that, okay, why not you wear something like that and you'll look beautiful. It's not that you have to show off your beauty or show off your beautify your voice. It's a matter of how modest you are and for whom are you dressing. That's the main intention. Your intention should be nice and clear, because if you're doing something haram, it's displeasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you do something right, it is pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and your reward lies with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Exactly. I think also, unfortunately, nowadays in Kuwait, in other Muslim countries as well as the West, values have shifted.
Yes.
And these younger girls especially, their self-worth has all of a sudden become just physical.
Yes, it is more of physical,
and so many girls do self-harm. They put so much value on the physical that they fall into depression.
Exactly.
Because of the ideals often that are shown by magazines and movies that are actually unrealistic because they've been photoshopped.
Exactly, yes.
You know, it shows. I mean, they've been photoshopped,
Definitely.
but of course the young girls don't know that. So they're trying to attain this.
Yes, I think our mothers should play a stronger role to build this value in our girls, is by teaching them that you are precious, because no one would want to keep their diamonds and the jewelry on the table to be displayed by everybody walks in and out. I wouldn't want to keep my jewelry on my entrance table where everybody who comes in my house has to see what I have. I would keep them in the most the safest place, in a locker or in a cupboard or somewhere. So a woman is basically treated as a queen. Queen Elizabeth wouldn't meet everyone. She wouldn't show herself to everyone. Just she wouldn't shake hands with everybody else.
Exactly.
She would just shake hands with some people. So we have to use these examples.
She's exclusive.
Exactly. So she is, our daughters, our girls are exclusive. They are precious.
Exactly.
So we have to. Our mothers have to build that, instill that thing in our teenagers.
That's right. Well, we're going to go for a quick break. Inshallah, we'll be right back.
Inshallah.
Please, dear viewers, stay with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to viewers, and with me is Sister Maksuda Parkar, and we're on the very important topic of hijab, and not just the topic of hijab, but unfortunately how society is affecting the mindset of younger girls nowadays. When I first wore hijab, I was very young, I was 17, I just converted to Islam, and throughout the years I kept rethinking, and of course because I have to keep constantly defending my choice, because when I interact especially with non-Muslims, the first question is always the appearance. They don't ask me about why would you change your faith, what's on the inside. That's not so important to people as much as the outside. Why do this to myself?
Definitely, yes.
You were free, you were raised free, you had everything going for you, and now you did this to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So I've had to keep rethinking, and I've had to approach the subject from many different angles, depending on who I'm talking to.
Yes.
So what I've come in my conclusion, that subhanallah, hijab frees us as women and protects our modesty, but it also protects us from having pressure.
Yes.
That pressure that is put on us by Western, or not just, we don't want to keep saying Western, but by these fashion ideals.
Yes, by the fashion ideals.
Somebody in Paris or somebody in London or in New York or something decides this is going to be the fashion for this year. We run off, spend our money on these fashions, whether they look good or not, just because somebody over there dictated that to us. We run basically like sheep.
Their mistake becomes our fashion, basically.
Exactly, right. And you can see that, this color is in this year, so everybody runs and gets this color. That color is in this year, so everybody goes and runs this color.
Yes.
And in addition, we take the pressure off each other, because it's in solidarity with being sisters.
Yes.
I dress modest, you dress modest. So really, we give the men no option.
Exactly. And as I said, if women raise their opinion, the problem in today's society is our women are quiet. They are sitting behind the doors, just letting it go as it passes by, and because of this, the spectators get an upper hand to, blame everything on our Muslim men or our society.
Yes.
Saying Islam is oppressing our women, Islam is stopping them from educating, Islam is doing this, Islam is doing that. The spectators or the social stigma is just, they're just using all these tactics to put down Islam. But if our women start raising their opinion, their voices, saying no, hijab is my choice, it will not stop them from doing anything, and all these spectators will be shut for once and all.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. We must be the ones
exactly.
speaking up.
We should be speaking, because, as I said, if my husband has to say that, you know, women should be wearing hijab, or my sister should be wearing hijab, he must be saying in a best context.
That would sound misogynistic.
Exactly.
Meaning the man running the world and trying to oppress and
Yes,
control the women.
but society is going to see like that. Social media is going to be portrayed. Even if a man is trying to go and cover some woman's head, he will be the headlines will be, man is oppressing woman by putting a scarf on her head.
Yes,
I mean, they will make a different
they would love that.
they would make a headline out of it. However, if the woman would stand up and say, no, I'm wearing hijab and it's my choice, nobody has an audacity to go and say something saying, okay, why is she saying that?
Exactly.
It's my choice.
Yes,
It's
yes.
my
but sometimes
power.
they still don't believe it. You know, they say,
think,
oh,
yeah.
she
It happened
being
with
made
me.
to say that.
Yeah, it happened with me when I started wearing hijab. I started wearing hijab a few years back, and it happened that people started asking, are you wearing hijab because your parents forced you? Are you wearing hijab because you're getting married? No, I didn't. I did my own research and I started wearing hijab, and I started feeling more respected and more protected.
Yes.
But it didn't stop me. As I said, I'm working for 13 years, and it didn't stop. It didn't make any change in my work professional area.
Exactly. We have women doctors, surgeons, dentists,
Everybody
in the
else.
business world, really anywhere.
There is no field left for us
That's right.
where you can't find a hijabi.
That's right.
From
SubhanAllah.
low level to high level, everybody is wearing hijab, and they are carrying off well, and they are
Exactly.
successful. They are working in and out, be it home, be it outside. They are carrying it off very well, and they are
Exactly.
respected.
So the fashion industry is actually, forcing girls to follow something that is not, it's not pleasing women, it's pleasing men.
Exactly.
It's actually the men's agenda.
Yes, if you see right now, they are using women as a product, be it commercial, be it social media, be it fashion, be it any area.
In the advertising, right?
Everything, women has become like a product. I feel sometimes we are going back to the pre-Islamic time where women were used as an object, now.
That's true, and they don't realize.
Yeah.
You see, I think that the marketing is so smart about it that they're selling this to the women as
Yes,
empowerment.
exactly.
They're selling it to the women because, for example, if you do slavery, of course they were trying to sell the idea of slavery to the slaves in a way, this is what you really want, this makes you happy, so that the people would stay subdued.
Yes.
Same thing with the women, they will stay subdued and
Exactly.
accepting this by
Yes.
selling that to them as freedom.
They're
as
doing that a lot.
Empowerment,
Yeah.
as feminism.
I mean, how would it make sense to you when you buy a when you go shopping, or when you see an ad of a man's razor blade and a woman is selling it?
Right.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
It's a man's shaver machine, which is,
Well,
they're
yes,
showing
but they're
a
trying to
shaving
appeal
gel
and
and
say
stuff.
to sell the product to the man who's a
Exactly.
visual
So they're
creature.
trying to use women in every way as a product.
Right.
Women, they're trying to, they're just trying to say that, this is what you got to do to, come up. And
But
it
you
doesn't
see, if
help.
they sell it to the women, this is because you're free and you do whatever, that this is what you can do. If they would give the stark truth to these women, say, you know what, we're just going to use you.
Yeah.
You're going to look pretty. You mean nothing to us. You add no value to the product,
Exactly.
but you just stand there and we're going to use this. Women would say no.
Exactly.
But of course, they have to be smart about
Very
it and
smart,
say,
yes.
this is you are emancipated, you are free,
Yes,
you can do what you
exactly.
want, you can dress as
I
you
feel
like.
our women are being fooled, and they are smart enough to.
We should be smarter.
Exactly.
We should be smarter and say, no, we're not going to allow that to
Exactly.
happen.
That's why that's when I said that our mothers need to instill this education in our girls, that you are not a product, you are as equal as a man, and you are as precious as a pearl, because you are someone who is going to build generations after generations. You don't build one generation. You start as a daughter, you turn as a sister, mother, daughter, wife, you play different roles till you come to great grandmother, and you're still in building all these education into the coming up generations.
Exactly.
So
to
women is
empower
running-
the young girls.
Yes, we need to empower our
Yes.
girls. We need to teach our girls that what is right, what is wrong, and
To
what
have
pleases Allah subhanahu
positive
wa ta'ala.
self-images.
Definitely, yes.
To love themselves.
Yes.
Really, to love themselves without the external.
And wearing
Gratification.
hijab, you can be yourself. No one is stopping you from doing anything.
Yes.
No one is stopping you from going and playing out in the garden if you have to play. No one is stopping you to go to meet your girl, your sister, or your friends who are in the same class.
Right, but I think, nowadays, fortunately, it's really become an illness with the social media.
Yes.
And the gratification that needs to come externally. I've met so many young ladies that count how many likes they get on a certain picture, how many comments are being made, and if they haven't gotten enough likes, they start doubting,
they
what's
start
wrong with me?
Exactly.
Is something wrong with me? Do I need to fix myself up?
Yes.
And it's all external
And
self-validation.
they start harming themselves. Sometimes when their photos are not being followed or their Snapchat is not being followed, they start thinking, oh, am I become fat? I need to lose weight. Have I not pouted enough, or have I not done my hair good enough? So they start falling into this sickness, which starts harming them internally and physically, mentally, and spiritually.
That's right, and
So,
even girls with hijab, unfortunately, are falling into this.
Yes.
This has really become a phenomenon, not just in the Muslim world. It's
Everywhere,
actually become a phenomenon all over the
Everywhere,
world,
yes.
where young people are even driven to suicide, unfortunately, sometimes because of these social media and these wrong fashion and beauty ideals that are unachievable because they're unnatural.
This needs to be understood, be it any society, whether it's Muslim women or non-Muslim women. They need to understand that media is harming our girls and our teenagers.
Exactly.
And especially when you see a lot of hatred being built or a lot of wrong things being done, we need to teach our kids in the best way.
We need to re-educate them.
Yes,
We're going to go for a quick break, inshallah, and then we'll continue a little bit more about the social media and the really harmful effect, if it's not in a controlled manner, that it can have on our young generation. Dear viewers, please stay with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, you viewers, and with me is Sister Maksuda Parkar, and we're talking about the effect of social media, about the fashion industry, about even shaitan on the girls nowadays, and the loss of modesty. And I don't want to really blame the girls as much, because there's so much a product of what goes on around.
Exactly.
So like you said, the mothers and the women in the society, we need to encourage those girls. We need to give them their value back.
Yes.
The true value.
Our mother needs to do that. They have to take the step up, and they have to right now what is happening is, because of social media, our girls are finding friends outside. And I think social media, or the technology that has come through the mobile phones, or WhatsApp, Snapchat,
Instagram,
our mothers are got more
everything.
busy than the teenagers, to be very honest. Instead
Yes.
of building relationship with their own kids, they have given their gadgets in their hand, saying, okay, here is your friend, go ahead, I'm busy, I have no time for you, and that's it. And when by the time they realize there's already harm, the harm is already done.
Yes.
So I think our mothers need to stop and take some time out for the kids, spend time and make friends
Right.
with the girls. Basically, instead of girls finding friends outside, it's better they start finding friends at home.
And
be it
even
mother,
if they
father,
do,
sisters.
I mean, social media can have its pluses and minuses, meaning it's opening the world, it creates connections, networking with sisters all over the world, mashallah, but it can also, like you said, have bad influence, because we can never
Exactly.
control the friends.
Yes.
So I think the best thing is, because it's hard to keep the girls away from, and the boys too, to keep them away from Instagram and all this.
It's not
but
about keeping them
to
away.
guide them
it's just
through
to
it.
guide them through, spend time, because I remember my days when we used to play outside in the gardens and we didn't have these gadgets, and our life was much more peaceful.
Of
We
course.
didn't have tensions about
Yes.
how
We
do I
didn't about
look and
worry
what I
about
have
the
to
likes.
wear and how many likes do I have, how many people are
Exactly.
following me. I didn't have all these tensions. I didn't have the stress. I
Actually-
was just enjoying myself playing in the rain or in the
That's
gardens.
true. You know, actually,
It
there was a
fun.
Facebook post about this subject saying, you know, if I was doing in real life what I did on Facebook, and it was telling me if I go down the street, I take my photo and I shove it into everybody's face. Do you like it?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Do you
know?
like it?
So
Yes.
people would laugh, as that's funny. But on
Exactly.
Facebook, it just seems so natural.
Exactly.
You know, so inshallah, we hope that the girls will take away something
Inshallah.
from this
inshallah.
episode. Unfortunately, we've already come to the end of our episode. Mashallah, it was such a pleasure to have you.
Same here.
Jazakallah khair
Wa
for your time. I know you have a very busy
Alhamdulillah.
schedule, mashallah,
Alhamdulillah.
with
Thank you so
both
much.
your daytime job and your volunteering and your organization that you
Yes,
are running, mashallah,
exactly.
you're managing.
For our organization, we do have a lot of empowerment awareness that we keep
Beautiful.
doing, and I can you know, you can see our ads which are being
Yes.
given. So in that you can see we have got a lot of awareness done for women, for women's empowerment, be it domestic violence or be it marital intimacy issues. Be it women's right in Islam, be it divorce and marriage.
So people come
Everything,
attend
everything.
lectures. and-
Mashallah, they come in
Mashallah.
good numbers. Like we had
Wonderful.
self-defense to train our girls how to defend yourself if you are at workplace, if you are at car park, anywhere. So there are a lot of
Mashallah.
activities which are done at our
I wish you success with that, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah,
Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much again.
Welcome, alhamdulillah.
Inshallah, we hope to see you on future episodes.
Inshallah,
to
inshallah,
enrich
inshallah.
us with your knowledge and your skills.
Definitely, inshallah,
Jazakallah khair,
inshallah.
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 Dear viewers, we've come to the end of our episode. We hope that you tune in again tomorrow for another episode of She in Islam. Have a wonderful iftar and may Allah make your fasting easy, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.